Okay, so this is a bit of an interesting video. I saw it a while back and I kind of wanted to react on it and maybe share a few words. So let's see.
I'll be on my knees, my belly on the flat on the floor.
Then
I'm
go
gonna
do
be
it.
praying. I'll
Go
do that,
pray,
and I'm
but
gonna
don't
open my mouth and say,
interfere.
"I'm
Don't
gonna interfere.
interfere
I'm
with
gonna
somebody.
interfere,
You
and I'm gonna
see?
interfere. I'm gonna interfere."
Parents, what would you do if my husband and I confessed to you all that we have absolutely no desire to have children?
Why are you exposing me like that? Because you know I don't like this kind of thing that you do, Natalie.
So it's the fact that the mom said, "Why are you exposing me like that?" Oh gosh.
No children again. What is wrong with you?
My husband and I decided that. No children.
I don't think that right belongs to you guys. You don't have that right of deciding to have children or not. I need to have them.
What?
Natalie, you don't have that right. No, your husband and you and your husband, you don't have that right to sit and decide you don't want to have children. What's wrong with you, these kids or this day? Do you have that choice? No, you don't. If it's not happening, I understand. It's not happening. You cannot force the nature. You and your husband cannot just come and sit and decide that, oh, you have decided not to have a baby. Are you white? Because African community, because this is upsetting me. God, oh my God, I know they're gonna chew me out there, but I don't care. Let me say this again. There are things as an African you cannot be thinking about, like not having a baby between you and your husband. Decide not to have kids. Well, you need to include me in the conversation to make sure that you guys have kids. It doesn't happen that way. No. In African community, you get married, you have kids. If it doesn't happen, we're gonna be praying and fasting. For some reason, you come and tell me you and your husband have decided not to have children. Natalie, not in Africa. Now.
We're in the US.
I don't care in the US, you are in North Korea, wherever you are. Natalie, you're gonna have children. Too bad. And you had to get married. You're gonna have children. And this is not even a subject we're gonna be discussing about. You're gonna have children. There's nothing about you and your husband have decided. I'm including myself in that decision, and you're gonna have children. I'm stopping there so your father can talk.
But wait, if Joel, my brother,
Yeah.
said the same thing,
There's no point or no moment that Joel gonna come to me and the wife to tell us that, oh, we have decided not to have children. Oh, full of it. No. So it's not gonna exist.
you know what? At least you're playing fair
Fair to what?
between both genders. You know, your daughters and your son, at least you're playing
Yeah,
fair.
because this is a mature. Why do I have to be unfair? All of you guys, African. So you think Joel is Chinese? No, he's an African man from Congo. My son, you are my daughter. Crystal also the same thing. No one will come to me with an idea or just to explain to me. I don't even know what you're gonna say because I'm gonna cut you off. You cannot decide on that one. It's your marriage, it's your couple, whatever you guys doing there. But when it comes to babies, getting married, I'm including myself to that decision. That's it. We're having children and we're getting married. That's it.
Daddy?
Yeah, that's
I think I completely understand the mother. I think every parent wishes to have or desires for their children to have children so that obviously they can have grandchildren. Like who wouldn't? Like everyone would wish to see their grandchild one day. But I think mommy's doing a lot here. I don't. Yeah, let's see what dad has to say. Cause yeah,
that's why I always warn you guys. You have to worry about your mom, not me. You have to worry about your mom, and I'm very serious about it. Me, you can worry about me before marriage, but not after marriage. Before marriage, yes, I can have something to say, but once I receive the dowry, none of my business.
What is wrong with you?
So, I cannot
What
even
is wrong with you two? You guys, after you get the dowry, it doesn't matter. The dowry is just a symbol that will showing that, okay, the man respected us. But you cannot just, because you get the dowry, turn your back to your family or your children. What's that supposed to mean?
The Bible says leave and cleave.
What does that mean anyway?
Leave and cleave.
Oh, leave. Okay. Natalie, in this, since your father does not have a position on this, his position actually is like, whatever happened after marriage, he doesn't care. I do care. And I'm going to bring him with me when we come to talk about this. It's going to be part of the conversation. Even though he won't talk, it's going to be a sponge to suck up all everything that I'm going to say.
You cannot talk when your mom can't stop talking. Okay?
Natalie, let me say it again. This part of conversation, your father will be there, but it's going to be invisible. I'm going to be doing the talking. You getting married. You're going to have children.
We're going to welcome you into their marriage. We're going to welcome you. That's not your house.
I don't need to go there. I don't need to go there.
Yeah,
and my knee, I'll be on my knees, my belly on the flat on the floor. I'm gonna be praying. I'll do that, and I'm gonna open my mouth and say, I'm gonna interfere. I'm gonna interfere, and I'm gonna interfere. I'm gonna interfere. So, because you saying that, it makes you feel like you are cursing on your children. You cannot be saying that because they got married, whatever they decide is what happened. If it's a bad decision, you have to say something. What is wrong for you? You are an African man. You are there to counsel everybody. And all of a sudden, you don't want to say anything because they decided not to have children?
That's why I always tell people, before you marry somebody, I think I did one video with you, before you marry somebody, you have to know the parents. Really do.
Yeah,
try
too
to
bad. I'm
go
here
through the
and I'm not
vetting.
going anywhere. Get married.
Yo, I actually love Mom, man. Like I completely understand. I understand the heart of what she's trying to say, but she's kind of really going the wrong way about it. And I think Dad has kind of got it, especially because you can't force this. Like her daughter said it herself, the whole leave and cleave. I think it's Genesis chapter 2 that talks about it, how when therefore man shall leave his father and his mother and shall cleave to his wife and they shall become one flesh. And the idea with that is that they should be sticking to, joining to one another. They're basically one. And so with respect to that, they can do together whatever they wish to do. And I think that is going to go into this shortly about how before obviously your daughter or your son obviously gets married, you can advise them, you can counsel them, you can give them everything that you wish and desire to equip them ready for marriage. But once they're in that marriage, that's it. Whatever they wish to do, whatever they like, it's completely up to them, and you therefore have no say whatsoever. Like I said before, every parent desires to have grandchildren, and so of course you'll pray for them. You might mention it or bring it up, etc. But if they've already set their mind up, if they've already made up their mind that they don't wish to have grandchildren, there's nothing you can actually do. Like you can't, like, I'm sorry, Mom, but you can't, like, do you know what I'm saying, put them two together to like force it. Like, I don't know, but let's continue listening.
Because
You cannot just wake up one morning and decide that you're not going to have children.
Mommy.
It does not happen that way.
Mommy?
Let's go to the next question because it's pissing me off.
Daddy.
I'm saying it again. That's why we're having problem in a lot of marriages nowadays, because the mother-in-law, they are too much into their children marriage. It's none of your business. It's not your marriage. This is why we're having a lot of problems in marriages, especially with Africans, because the in-laws are so involved in their children's marriage. The Bible say, you and your husband, and you say live and clean. You become one. You have your own plan. You know what you want in life, okay? Let me tell you, when I was growing up, like I wanted to have at least 7 children like my mom. I want to have a lot of children. But when I came to America, I realized it's not possible because of the circumstances. It's a different country. I didn't have any help. Unlike in Africa, where we grew up with aunties, cousins, and people like that, you know. Here, it was just my wife and I, and we have to raise 7 children. It was mission impossible. So the circumstances, because of that, I say, you know what? I only have 1. But I end up having 3. So same thing. You guys are married for whatever reason. You decided not to have children. That's none of my business. I said it clearly in previous videos. My prayer is I want to see descendants as an African parent. That's what I'm saying. Me, I'm dangerous before marriage. Pre-marriage, you have to worry about me. You have to be worried because I will tell you what I want. But after marriage, it's up to you whether you want to apply my advice, whatever I've been telling you or not. But I'll not be there knocking at your door, saying this and that. No, none of my business. I want you to enjoy your marriage the way you want it to be. Okay? That's why I keep telling you, I will never interfere with your marriage unless your life is in danger. Because you're still my daughter. But that authority, it will be transferred during dowry. Whatever happened in your marriage, you decided to have one or two. As parents may be like, come on, give us 2 children. We want grandchildren. Yeah, it's a prayer, it's a wish, but I'm not going to force it on you. So it's a warning. And I think this is what your mom's saying is not good for your future husband because they know now.
We teach our children.
Can I keep talking?
No.
You had your time.
Please,
you had your time. Because people are saying that, I don't want to try in that family because that mom right there would be a problem. You see what I'm saying? So because me personally, I don't like it when in-laws try to dictate me what to do in my life.
Right.
Because it's my wife and I. We make our decision because we also have dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like you and your husband, if you decide one day your dream is to go live in Afghanistan or Ukraine or Russia, that's your dream. I can tell you, no, I want you to be close to us, but if that's your decision, you go. I'm not going to stop you. So I don't want anybody to tell me, why did you choose America? You should have gone back to China or go to live in Africa. No, that was our decision. Okay? So that's what I'm saying, you as your father. That's why I keep telling you, the way I see things when it comes to marriage, listen to your dad. Be wise.
I'll be on my...
I think, so I found the scriptures, it's Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. And it's also again in Matthew chapter 19, reading from verse 5, when Jesus had departed from Galilee and came to the region of Judea, and he was met by a great multitude, and the Pharisees basically came to test him regarding the law of marriage and divorce. And so in verse 5 it says that, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one, and the two shall become one flesh. And I think that kind of hit it on the nail with respect to how this is why some people may not wish to marry into a particular family, because of given obviously one parent and the way they may influence obviously their respective child with respect to how, not even the child, but they might disrespect the marriage with respect to what they wish and what they desire for them to do. When as the dad obviously here said himself, like before marriage, before obviously the dowry, before he's fully obviously given his daughter over to the husband, his son-in-law, that's the point on which obviously they'll give them all the counsel, all the advice, all the knowledge, wisdom that he's experienced, that both parents basically have experienced in their own marriage, with respect to how they can best prosper, or how they should obviously invite God into their marriage so that it will be successful. But after that, you can't say or do anything. As long, obviously, God forbid, obviously your daughter or your son obviously is in danger. Of course, that's when he'd step in and obviously act accordingly. But I think it's also very important for us, therefore, to be aware that when you marry someone, you're not just obviously marrying them, but you're also marrying into the family also. And so having a good understanding of their family culture, environment, ways of communication, whether there is any, not necessarily say issues, but like opinions like this that could obviously therefore be detrimental with respect to what you and your prospective partner, you and your partner basically want for your own marriage, yeah, it has to be considered, because it can be quite dangerous, as you can see. So yeah, I thought it was an interesting video.